Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox. I would like to welcome you to the Sunday Book Review. The Sunday Book Review is the series where I discuss books which impact the compliance practitioner, the legal professional, and the business professional. I hope you will enjoy this episode. The Sunday Book Review for October 25, 2020, in honor of the Lincoln Project's billboards on Times Square, the Let Them Eat Cake edition. And we start with that. First up, Marie-Antoinette, The Making of a French Queen by John Hardman, who was the real Marie-Antoinette. She was mistrusted and reviled in her own time, and today she is portrayed as a lightweight and capable of understanding the events that engulfed her. In this new release, John Hardman redresses the balances and sheds fresh light on her story. He shows how she played a significant but misunderstood role in the crisis of the monarchy. Drawing on new sources, he describes from the outset she refused to prioritize the aggressive foreign policy of her mother, Maria Theresa, and bravely took over the helm of Louis XVI after the collapse of his morale and when the revolution broke out. Listened to the Third Estate and worked closely with repentant radicals to give the constitutional monarchy a fighting chance. For the first time, Hardman demonstrates exactly what influence Marie-Antoinette had and when she brought it to bear, and of course, Let Them Eat Cake. Next up, Philip and Alexander by Arian Goldsworthy. This is a book about, obviously, the father and son. Alexander's conquest staggered the world. Philip inherited a minor kingdom, was on the verge of dismemberment, but despite his youth and inexperience, he made Macedonia dominant throughout Greece. It was Philip who created the armies that Alexander led into Persia. In this work, historian Arian Goldsworthy shows that without the work and influence of his father, Alexander could not have achieved so much. Next up, They Said No to Nixon by Michael Koncewicz. In more than 3,000 recorded conversations, the Nixon tape famously exposed a president's sinister views of governance that would eventually lead to his downfall. Despite his best efforts, his vision of government, where he would use his power to punish his political enemies, never came to fruition because of members of his own party defied his directive. Culling from previous excerpts from the tapes and recently published materials that exposed the president's uncensored views, the author reveals how Republican Party members remain loyal civil servants in the face of Nixon's attack. Too bad we can't really have that lesson today because Trump is making the same types of attacks. It sheds light on the significant cultural and ideological shifts that have occurred within the Republican Party since then. And finally, we conclude with The Viking Immigrants by L.K.Bertram. A Viking statue, coffee pot, and other items, what do they tell? Well, between 1870 and 1914, almost one quarter of Iceland's population migrated to North America, forming enclaves in both the U.S. and Canada. This book examines the multi-century side of immigration through rare photographs and interviews with many of those who immigrated from Iceland and other Scandinavian countries. By revealing the hidden histories behind everyday traditions, The Viking Immigrants maps the transformation of Icelandic North America of a culture over a year and a half. It's an interesting history book and, frankly, a part of history that I was not as aware of as I should have been, that being the Icelandic migration to the United States. So I hope you will enjoy some history books from this week's selection in the Sunday Book Club, and I hope you will join me again next week where I take up another set of books that caught my eye over the past week. This month on 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program, I take up business ventures, how do joint ventures, teaming agreements, distributorships, franchises all come under the FCPA penumbrum, and how do you as a compliance officer deal with them, and more importantly, how are they different than other types of risks that you must manage? Check out this month's 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program sponsored by Affiliated Monitors. I look forward to visiting with you again next week.